Hi! This video will help you prepare for YOSA auditions by giving you some tips on how to play one of our audition excerpts. Keep in mind that steady practice and ongoing work with your school orchestra or band director and a good private teacher are the best ways to improve your playing in the long run. Good luck! We look forward to hearing your audition.
Hello, I'm Mrs. George. I'm the director of YOSA Repertory Strings, and I'm here to work with you on excerpt number 3. So for this excerpt, I would say the focus is on accents and your bow levels. Resetting your bow after each rest that you have to get a good start with your sound. And then making sure that your notes are even and your bow strokes are even as well, so there's no rushing going on. The tendency for rushing is whenever we have short notes is to push the tempo. So it's important that you practice with metronome. It's a really good way to make sure that you're staying in tempo. So first of all, when we have our accents, making sure that we're using that first finger weight. Make sure your bow is engaged in the string so that when you pull it, we have a little bit of an emphasis in there. So this happens at the beginning, of course, first measure, second, third measure, and fifth measure. And then we also have that happening in measure 13. And then a different part that happens in measure 19. You have an accent right there as well. So just make sure you use your first finger weight for that. The next thing is your bow levels. So you have this G, and then you have to skip a string and go to the A string for that. Make sure your elbow helps in making that that change happen. If you go like this, that doesn't work out as well. And then also in the reverse, when you're and you have to go back to G, don't do this. Make sure that your elbow is helping in getting that bow over to the new string. So watch out for those bow levels. And I might even practice it for that. Next thing is resetting your bows after each rest. So when we have this at B, I stop my bow, and then I make sure my bow's on the string when I start this next one, and set my bow, set my bow. So just make sure that you get a good start to each one of your notes. And then for even notes, a little practicing I might suggest is at B. Now it might be a little bit hard for coordination, so if that doesn't work for you, maybe even doing, so you're not playing. You want to make sure those are even. If you're having trouble with that too, you can always do rhythms. And then mainly the purpose of rhythms is to try to get your fingers to do exactly what you want them to do when you want them to do them. If you don't do those, sometimes it helps your brain like kind of reverse what it was doing before and breaking the habit. And then if you have trouble with string crossing, this one that's second measure of B, you could use fourth finger, or you could use open, or you could do that third position and then 1-1 at the end if you're having trouble with making sure it's even. My biggest suggestion to you is not to use a ton of bow for that. And then also another spot is measure 6. You could accent just for practicing. You don't want to actually do that. Or you could go, or So those are ways that you can help with your rhythm if you're having trouble with your notes being uneven. And then just to touch a little bit on all these places where you have short notes. Third measure of B, you have short. Making sure you go. We don't want to rush, so make sure you take just a little bit of time, a backseat on the beat, just a tad. And again, practicing with a metronome will help you with that, making sure that you're listening to stay on track and no rushing happening. So that concludes this episode of our excerpt.